Are you all seeing this? I don't understand. What is up with all of these bees behind me? I don't think I've ever seen this many ever. What is this? Look at all of them. So I was gathering some resources off camera and stuff like that, and I walked around the area by the enchanting table and stumbled across this river and just noticed all of these bees everywhere. And I honestly don't think I've ever seen this happen on any map that I've been on before. So if anybody has any type of explanation, let me know in the comments, because this is just like a lot. Anyway, enough talk about the bees. Hey everybody, it's Infinite Drift, and welcome back to the Survival Let's Play series. We've got a lot of stuff to work on today, and let's just get started. So in the last episode, we built our storage room, which has honestly come in handy. I love it so much. I was actually able to clear all of the chests around our area, so everything's all cleaned up and it's looking good again. See, the bees are even like starting to come into this area too. Look how many there are. What do I do with them? I don't understand. They're invading my base. Oh no. So, what we've got to work on today. I was thinking the main project for today would actually be starting to decorate the outside of the house and maybe kind of connecting the path from here to the enchanting table and making a little bit of a path towards the storage room and decorating that as well. However, there's one key item that we are missing in order to decorate things properly. That would be either the moss block or vines. So I think that we're going to start off today by going on a little bit of an adventure, and hopefully we'll find a swamp and we can gather a bunch of vines so we can start decorating the exterior here and start making things look a little bit nicer around here. And I also mentioned in the last episode that I would like to get a zombie XP farm started. However, I realized that I'm missing one key ingredient to make one, which would be soul sand. So I was thinking that if we have enough time today, I would like to build a Nether Portal and kind of check out the Nether, see where we land, and maybe we can start gathering ingredients for the zombie XP farm for the next episode. So with that idea in mind, I kind of was looking around the map again, as I always do, and I think I found the perfect spot where I want the Nether Portal to be. So I kind of like the idea of having it in this mountainscape somewhere, so I think I found the perfect spot for our Nether Portal right behind our house, and is kind of halfway between the house and the enchanting table over here, so I kind of feel like it fits in theme with each other, and it is right here. This wall kind of feels like it's made for a Nether Portal. So I was kind of envisioning having steps going up into the portal and having like a really big portal design kind of dug into the wall. And the best part is like a little bit of the terraforming's already done. You've got like a really cool looking circular pattern. So if we have enough time today, I think we're gonna get started on that as well. So we haven't really explored much of this map yet. We went off to the right where the Badlands are. However, I'm thinking the best bet for us to do would be to go by boat somewhere, and I was thinking we haven't really explored over to the left here. Hopefully if we go far enough, we'll run into another mainland, and maybe there'll be like a swamp or something around there. And who knows, maybe we'll find some other cool stuff along the way, which is really a win-win for us. Alright, and with that, we're actually off to a really good start because we have not come across dark oak yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend some time grabbing some of this just to have a little bit of a stockpile, and we're also going to grab the saplings so we can start growing this stuff at home as well. And while we're at it, I'm going to place a couple torches just to indicate that we've been here, so if we stray even further, at least I know that we're in the right direction towards home. Because I honestly tend to get lost quite a bit when I travel by boat. Just going to take some of these mushrooms as well while we're at it. Ooh, they're blocks too. I forgot this axe has a silk touch on it, so that's awesome. Alright, so we've got a ton of wood. We've got some saplings for when we want to replant them at home. I think that should be good, and we should be on our way now. Back to the main mission of finding vines. Oh geez, that's not good. I think I'm just gonna, boat past that for now and just pretend I never saw that. Hello, dolphin. Oh, we're like little friends. It's following me around. What's up, buddy? I know, me too. Me too. I found some. Oh, yes. Awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay, now the only problem is going to be getting home because I am admittedly a little bit lost. Oh, is this the same one? Oh no. Are there two? I swear this is not the same one. Okay, I need to be very careful around here. So I think I'm just gonna grab whatever I can and skedaddle because this seems a little bit risky to me. I'm gonna gather some lily pads and stuff as well though while we're here. But this area doesn't seem to be the safest. I see him off in the distance. Yeah. Okay. Let's try to go unnoticed. I'm not looking for any fights today. All right, so we got a bunch of stuff that we need to decorate our paths, and I think it's time for us to head out. The only problem I have is finding my way home because I got a little bit turned around. I honestly should have torched more of the shoreline. However, I was just a little bit in a rush and I decided not to. I was like, it's fine. I know where I'm going. I, in fact, did not know where I was going. That's okay though, we'll find our way back. I remember this turtle dude, so I think I'm going the right way. Yes, yeah, we found it. Okay, we are not far from home at all. There's the village by our house, and we are pretty much home. I would say that was a massive success. All right, so we've got our missing components that we needed in order to do our landscaping. So now we can basically get started on it. So I'm just gonna toss some of this stuff in our storage room quickly, keep it all organized, and gather some of the things that we need. Oh gosh, oh no, why are you here? I thought I properly lit this place. Oh no. Oh no. Where are you? I'm scared. Jeez. I was not expecting that at all. Oh my gosh. Go away. Oh, that really frightened me. Oh no. I feel like I don't know where they're coming from, but I thought I lit this place up well enough. I guess I didn't? I don't know. I'm just gonna place some extra lights here for now, just in case, because that really scared me. All right, so now that mostly everything we don't need has been put away, I gathered everything that we're gonna need to landscape this area. And what I'm basically gonna do, as always, is set up a little station so we have easy access to everything that we're gonna be using. And I promise this time I will actually tear it down when I'm done with it. So these are basically all of the materials that we're gonna be using. I might add a couple of things here and there, but as you can see, it's very similar to the enchanting table, except now we finally have our mossy cobblestone and mossy bricks. We're going to interchange with different types of stone, different types of spruce materials. We're going to add in some campfires and stuff like that. We're going to use a lot of leaves and all of that to help decorate the outside. We finally got our vines that we can put up. And another thing that I'm going to add for the pathing around here, because I'm not sure if I'm actually going to be using a ton of cobblestone or stone in the path, is I'm going to use a little bit of coarse dirt. I really like the look of it. I want the path to look maybe a little bit more natural. So we're going to use some of this just to keep like a nice little like rugged look for the path. Now that everything's put away and we have everything prepared, it is time for us to finally start decorating the exterior of the house. Honestly, what we're going to start with first is the structure. So we have a really good basic structure for this house and I'm really happy with it. However, as you can see, it's looking very bland because there's just no added detail to it. So there's a lot of things that we can do with this, like really simple things just by adding extra items just to make it look a little bit more interesting and to give it more life. One thing I was actually thinking of starting with first is texturing the walls around here a little bit. So this is all stripped spruce, and what I was thinking to give it just a little bit more texture and make it look a little bit more rugged and worn in is to interchange it with some spruce planks. You don't have to do too many, just pop out like a couple pieces here and there, because I find that just adding a little bit more texture to your builds gives it a little bit more life. It makes it look a little bit more worn in, because this is pretty much, when you look at this, it's pretty much like a giant spruce cabin. And I think that if you give it a little bit more of a worn in vibe, it's going to look a little bit better, and it's going to give a lot more texture to the build and make it look more realistic in some ways. So we're going to add this to all of these walls. I just kind of try to space it out as randomly as possible and just fill it all in as you go along. If you want to add some pieces here and there or like take some away, you can totally do that. Just whatever feels right for you. Little bits of texture have been added to the walls, and you can kind of see that it's already starting to help in terms of making at least the walls look a little bit more interesting. So now with my other idea that I've had is I realized that when I made this house, I didn't put a cross beam across any of the tall parts of the build. I was thinking to kind of like split these two walls up because they're very vertical right now. The best thing to do to fix that would be to have a cross beam going across like this, and it kind of just helps split the upper level with the lower level. That's one thing I forgot to add when I actually built it, but it just makes a little bit more sense in terms of the structure because there technically should be a beam across there that would help with like structural support. So, and if you want to take this texturing a little bit further, what you could also do is replace some of the stripped logs like this and actually just place them in a different direction like that, just so they're not all vertical like this. That way you just have a little bit more of an intricate design, and that little bit of detail kind of also helps in terms of making things look a little bit more interesting and realistic. You can already see just adding those little horizontal pieces, I think it makes it look a lot better. So I'm gonna do that for all of these sides really quickly. All right, now all the texturing on the sides of the house are done, and I think it really helped with the look of this build. Even just as simple as kind of randomizing some of the textures on the walls definitely is worth doing because I think it really helps. So the only thing that I might end up actually changing is I might get rid of this window, and I'm not sure if I'm going to put windows up here or not yet. I'll have to decide after, but the reason why I want to get rid of this window is I think I want to create a little bit of a workstation right here where the roof will be coming down from here and then sloping down, and you'll have a little bit of like an outdoor workstation with like an anvil, a smithing table, and all that stuff. That way I think it'll just add a little bit of shape to this side of the house because right now we just have a flat wall, and I think it will help bring a little bit of shape to this area and give this area like a little bit of purpose as well. So all the texturing is done, and what we're going to move on to next is the windows. So the windows are really simple. Usually what I do is I just add shutters to them. However, I was also thinking what I could do was I was gonna pop these blocks out and add an upside down staircase to the tops of the windows, because when you do that, it adds a nice little bit of detail above the window. So then next, usually what I do is I add spruce trapdoors to the sides and use them as shutters. You can also place them sideways like this. This looks pretty cute too. However, for my build, I think I prefer them fully open and against the wall like that. So we're just gonna add that to pretty much every window. We're just gonna do it on one side here instead of both, and that should be good. Next, we just have to add something underneath the window. Usually what I do is things like planters and stuff like that. However, with the planters, I usually do use spruce trapdoors for them. Because we have too many of those hanging around here, I think I'm gonna do a windowsill instead that I can add plant pots on top of. So I think for the window ledges, we could try a spruce slab or we could try a stair. Honestly, if we're going with the spruce slab, I think it does actually look really good when it's connected to this. However, I was also thinking we could try out stone. I think the stone just stands out a little bit too much. I like the way that this blends in. So spruce it is. And I think I actually like the look of the slabs better. So we're gonna go with that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And what you can do with these ledges is the best part is you could just add things to them like lanterns and also flowers and just decorate them a little bit. So I'm just gonna do it to this one really quickly. And you know what? We'll do this one for now because I don't know when I'm gonna get to building the little structure over here. So we'll just add a couple here, maybe a lantern as well. Pop a little flower in there and it's good to go. We've got like a pretty good base so far, especially on this side of the wall. And now what I think I'm going to do is I want to add some organic textures and shapes to the mix. So we are going to use some leaves and some vines to do that. So I want it to look like there's a set of old vines coming from the top of the building, wrapping all the way down and around here. So what I'm going to do is place maybe some leaves right here, maybe something like this. Have it wrap down like this, and then over towards the side here, and they're all kind of connecting, which is good. And then finish wrapping it off right here. And then you can kind of get rid of the connecting pieces like this if you think it looks a little bit too heavy and kind of not organic, because it starts looking a little bit too blocky if you add in too many connecting pieces. So that's just something you have to keep in mind. So I think I'm going to get rid of even like this one right here, because at least they still connect on the sides right here. And yeah, that looks pretty good. And I find that adding organic shapes like this just really help, especially in Minecraft, because you're using blocks all the time and you're using things that are just very square and rigid looking. So it's really nice to add in organic shapes whenever you can, just to help add a little bit more detail and bring things to life. So now what I think we have to do is start adding a little bit more texture and detail to this area. We've got the stone, we've got the leaves, and we've got all of the spruce components. So I think it's just nice to add in a couple of extra things like barrels and stuff like that. So I think what I'm going to do is add a barrel here, add some maybe around the edges right here. Maybe we can even take out this piece as well. There we go. And at the top, what I can do just to add a little bit more light here is add in a lantern, just like that. So those barrels keep in theme with the block palette that we have, but they add a nice little bit of different texture, and also they add a little bit of different shape right here, which is nice, because that's another thing that this is kind of missing. Because we have such a regimented shape within the build, we have to add things around it just to add a little bit more interest in terms of shape as well. All right, so I really like the ledge that we have across here. However, I do think that we can enhance the shape just a little bit, and that would simply be by replacing some of the stairs with different types of blocks, all stone, but you can mix in mossy stone blocks, regular stone. We can turn the stairs different ways and stuff like that. So you could even have some running like this. I'm gonna have to change this as well, but that's okay. And then maybe we'll have some running the other way as well, like this. And then what you can do to push the design out a little bit further so it's not completely flush with each other is we can start bringing some of this design out this way. And we can simply just add things like stone to the bottom of the floor, or we can even add little bits of stairs so you have blocks that kind of go in like this, and then you can top it off with like a slab or something like that. Just try different combinations out in different ways just to see what fits. Really, all that we're doing is simply just trying to add more organic shapes and trying to make things look more realistic. I think I'll stop with that for now. I think that looks pretty good. And you can see it just adds a little bit more interest in detail compared to what we had before with the one basic shape running across. Now we have something a little bit more intricate and eye-catching. Alright, this is coming together really nicely so far. So another thing that I really like to add to my builds is wheat fields. Pretty similar to what I did with the enchanting table. We're just going to have one off to the side right here. I really think the color of the wheat is going to complement the spruce and the spruce leaves really well, and it's just going to add nice organic movement to this area and fill up this space a little bit. So we're just going to dig out a spot for water really quickly, place it here, and I'm going to place a trap door over it because I think what I'm going to do is actually build a well right here. We're gonna do what we did similar to the enchanting table area, is try to make an organic shape, just as organic as we can, kind of maybe rounded around the edges. We're just gonna go to probably about here. I may have made this a little bit too big. I might have to dial it back a little bit. That's okay. So we're gonna place more water right here, just so all of this stuff grows in. All right. There. It's a pretty big field, but you know what? I actually think it kind of works. I might just leave it like that, actually. Oh yeah, that fills up the space perfectly. We're gonna leave that. So for the well, I actually think I'm gonna build it in this spot, just left of the house, just so it doesn't like completely ruin the line of sight that we have with this area. So I'm just gonna have it off to the side a little bit. So I had to replace this with a couple dirt blocks because the blocks wouldn't place properly. Basically what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna place an upside down stair this way, and I'm just gonna interchange them between regular stone and mossy stone. And from here, that gives us a pretty good base. So then usually what I do next is you have to make a little bit of a base for your little roof that you have going over top of the well. So I place stone brick walls here. We can make one of them mossy as well. Why not? We've got them. Let's do that. And you know what I realized I forgot? We can definitely interchange some of these as well, just to give a little bit of extra texture. Just use regular stone possibly as well. Same with over here. We can definitely mix some of these up, and I think it'll make it look a little bit more texturized. There, I think that looks a little bit better. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to use spruce fencing on this level of posts, just because I like the difference in width here. And I'm going to make this well very similar to kind of the one that I did on Imperial SMP. I'm going to use a copper roof just because I really like the way that it oxidizes. It looks really, really nice. I always kind of struggle to make this roof. I don't know why. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a block here and a block here, one in the middle, and I think I'm going to have them coming out one here and here. Now the tricky part is that I want these ones to rest on a lower level, so I'm going to use this dirt block kind of to allow me to place it easily. So you want it placed on like the upper part of the dirt block that you have placed here. So we'll do that pretty much all the way around. just so you have the roof kind of going between two different levels. It just makes it look a little bit nicer rather than just having it completely flat across. And then we'll go up to the roof real quick right here. We'll place another slab at the top like this. And then on top of that, we'll put a lightning rod just to complete it. And underneath, we can add a little chain right here going into the well. So let's fill that up with water really quickly. And that's pretty much it. It's a really, really simple design, but you know what? It's easy to do and I think it looks good. And I think it's gonna look even nicer when the copper actually oxidizes and you get that nice green look. So yeah, that's pretty much how you make like a simple well. Really easy design to do. And the best part is you can always mix up different materials. You could have this as spruce instead if you want. You can use deep slate, you can use other types of stone, anything you want really. So now all we really have to do is wait for all of this to grow. In the meantime, what I think I'm going to do is I am going to start pathing out a little bit of the area right here, going towards the base and then going towards the enchanting table. So I said before, I wasn't really sure if I want this path to have a bunch of cobble and a bunch of stone like I did the enchanting table. So for now, what I'm going to do is I am going to do just a basic path design with some coarse dirt just to add a little bit of texture. I think I want it to be pretty basic and have most of the details kind of lie within all of the stuff that we're doing around it. Keep in mind, try your best to use the most organic shapes that you can. Obviously, it's okay to have straight lines like this, but try to get those nice curves moving around and making the path kind of twist and turn in different ways. So yeah, I think I'll stop maybe about here just because I'm not going to tear this down yet. We're still going to work on some other stuff while we're here. But this is a pretty good basic design for what we have, and now we know exactly where it's going to go. So we're just going to do the same thing on the other side over here. I think what I'm going to do is actually fill some of this in with dirt right here, just because I find that that drop off is a little bit too steep right in front of the house. I think that should be good. So now we're going to just do the same thing going this way. I think leaving a little bit of a gap right here is good. And then we can start the path here and have it kind of fall off. And it's pretty much a direct line going to the enchanting table. So what I think I might do is just kind of implement my own few twists and turns here. So we're not going in a completely straight path. Let's just have it wind a little bit. And we're pretty much connected right here. So let's run this path real quickly and see how it looks. Yeah, I like the curves that we did here. I think it looks pretty good. Might have to fix up some of this a little bit, but other than that, this is looking pretty good. And the shapes feel just organic enough. You've got nice twists going this way, back this way, and then finally you can see the way that it turns back towards the enchantment table perfectly. So for now, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a couple pieces out of the path, and I'm just gonna fill them with coarse dirt and honestly nothing else. We'll leave it like this for now because I haven't really decided what exactly I want to do for the path. I might just end up leaving it this way. So yeah, it just adds a little bit of texture. That's pretty much all it is. I just want to keep it really simple for now until maybe we decide to do something different. But yeah, so now that the actual path is done, I think that we just have to kind of do the same thing that we did with the enchantment table and kind of add texture and detail to the path around the edges using different types of blocks. I forgot one thing I'm going to do actually is because I definitely want to have something over here. I'm just going to lay out a path right here just so I know that this is going to be turning into something else and I don't block it off when I'm doing the path design. So it's time for the edges of the path, and I came back here just to remind you all what we did last time. So we're pretty much going to keep in theme with this. However, because we're not really incorporating cobblestone into the build over here, I think we're going to replace some of these with just regular stone slabs or the stone brick slabs instead. And the best part is we have all of the mossy covered ones now, which is going to add a lot more texture as well. All right, so keeping in theme with this landscaping, I think we're going to jump into a really quick little time lapse while I finish the rest of the path, and we'll see what it looks like afterwards. Alright, so we're pretty much done with the beginnings of our path designs. And I would say it turned out really well. We pretty much kept in theme with the path that we had towards the enchanting table. The only thing that we didn't incorporate, like I said before, was cobblestone because we don't have it in this build. So I pretty much tried to keep it in theme with this area. And I really like the way that it turned out. It looks really natural and organic. We have like a bunch of leaves in the ground as well, some coarse dirt hanging around. And then it slowly transitions into the cobble path right here. And I think it looks pretty good. The only thing I'm missing is probably some stuff right here, but we can always add that in after. But it looks pretty seamless so far, minus the parts that we missed right here. But yeah, now we have ourselves a nice little path going to and from the enchanting table. So this part is all complete, which is really good. So now that we have the groundwork for our paths laid out, I have kind of marked out areas in which I would like to expand the paths. I don't know exactly how I would like to do them, but I made one over there to connect to the coop as well. And eventually we can just fill all of that in. And right behind me is the pond that I made during the time lapse. I honestly kind of wish I did this on camera instead of during the time lapse, just in case somebody actually wanted more of a thorough tutorial on how to make more lush and natural looking ponds. So if anybody in the comments actually wants that, just let me know and I would be more than happy to kind of go over it with you all again. It pretty much follows the same style that we did for our pathway, using the same blocks and stuff like that. The only thing that I really suggest doing with ponds is adding as much greenery as you can. So I added a bunch of like kelp and seagrass and lily pads and stuff like that to the bottom, and replacing the dirt with things like sand, gravel, different bits of stone. I used a little bit of mossy cobblestone as well, just to give it a little bit more texture, and then just decorate the outer portion with slabs, stone, whatever you feel fits well in theme with a pond. Even little bits of leaves and sugarcane work really, really well, and I always love to light it up with lanterns after. I find that all of these things in combination with each other just make it look really cozy and really, really lush, and really bring little bits of water like this to life. Because you all saw it before and it was just kind of like a boring water hole in the ground, kind of similar to what we have behind me over there. And this, I think, just really transforms it and gives it a little bit of life and purpose. So I think we're pretty much done with the pathing outside of the house for now. There's still a lot that needs to be done to it. However, there's so many paths that we need to create around the entire base. So we'll kind of just take our time adding to them as we go. They don't all have to be done in one day, but at least we have like a nice little setup here for now in front of the house, and that's pretty much done. So to finish things off in front of the house, I think what we need to draw our attention to is kind of the front right here. And I was thinking more towards the inside right here. We have a very basic structure, and I think it's kind of lacking a little bit of shape here. So we're gonna keep this pretty simple. I just want to add a couple of staircases here just because that edge felt a little bit too sharp. All right, and now to add a little bit of light to this porch, I was thinking about adding a lantern up here, but the spacing is a little bit awkward because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you don't really have an uneven spot which you can place it directly in the middle. So what I think I'm gonna do instead is just place 2 lanterns here for now. And then I'm gonna fill in the top with trapdoors. And then to kind of add a little bit more greenery, I would like to definitely add some vines around here, just in random various spots where they can grow. They kind of just do their own thing, which is the best part. Like this one might end up growing out here, but we'll add a couple around the house and just kind of see what they do. Even to the sides of barrels and stuff like that, I really like the look of that. Just helps things kind of like blend in a little bit more. So all of those pieces should eventually just start doing their thing and growing in various ways, and we'll just see what happens with them. And maybe what I can do here is get rid of this trap door and place some leaves right here and some right here. I'm pretty much just trying to add little pops of color just because there's a lot of spruce going on right here. And you don't want to go too overboard with the leaves. I think just 2 right there are pretty good. We also have the vines that are going to be growing, so I think that looks pretty good. And for a couple of little bits of extra detail, I was thinking of adding a couple of flower pots around the house. So one right here, maybe here, maybe on the ledges over here. And that should be good. I'm not too good at remembering the flower names, but I typically really like to fill the pots with things like ferns. The spruce saplings look really good. That blue one over there. This one. I'm not good with the names, but you get the point. I really love like the lily of the valley and stuff, so I kind of just like to mix up all of the colors and stuff together and just kind of place them around. I find that they're just like little pops of detail that look really good. But yeah, the saplings and the ferns look really good in the flower pots, especially if you're doing like a spruce build like this one, I find. And there we go. We just have a little bit more foliage and stuff like that hanging around, and I think it just really helps bring everything together. And I think that is pretty much it for decorating the front of the house anyway. We still have the sides to do, especially the side where I want to create a little bit of an outdoor workstation and stuff like that, but I think the front of the house is sufficiently decorated. It feels nice that we no longer have a house that's kind of just randomly chilling in an open field. It has a lot more character to it. It's got a lot more life. It looks like it kind of belongs in the landscape, especially once we start adding things more so around it and more pathing and stuff. But yeah, having these pathways also just makes it a lot easier to envision where you want to place things next and how your base is going to look overall. And I'm really happy with how it's turning out so far. Alright, now that we're done decorating a good portion of the outside of our house, I think it's time to turn our attention towards something a little bit different. And by that, I mean I think it's time for us to finally build our Nether Portal. So I showed you all the spot I had in mind before, and to kind of just add to this design a little bit further, I think I'm gonna dig this out by one block, just so it's not sitting flush with this row. I want it to kind of be sunken in a little bit. Alright, I'm hoping this is gonna be good. This is gonna be very high up. I don't think I've even built another portal this big in my life before. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Minus this. I don't know what's happening here. Alright, the shape seems to be perfect. I think it's time to light it up. Wait, am I even ready to go into the Nether? I feel like I need to wear some gold or something like that, just in case. So the dramatic lighting is gonna take 1 second. Hold on. We gotta do this right. I'm not gonna just jump in and not have like gold on me or anything. Oh, I should probably enchant it too. No, I should have thought about this before. All right, let's enchant these really quick. We'll just take whatever we can get. Fire protection. That sounds good for the Nether. I'm into it. All right, got some gold pants, and I also got a shield ready. Let's light this up. Oh, there we go. The moment of truth. Get my sword ready. Let's go. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. This is not a good spot at all. What did I do to deserve this? This is awful. This terrain is not very easy to walk on. This is gonna take a lot of pathing out to get to other places. Seriously, why? I feel like my first step in the Nether is going to be pathing all of this out and trying to get to other places. This is not the best start, I'll admit. Oh no, where do I even go from here? Seriously, if anybody has any suggestions on how I should navigate this, please let me know. Because right now, what I'm thinking is I'm just going to have to build tons and tons of paths, and it's going to take me forever just to find places. All I want is soul sand. That's all I wanted. My pinky is really gonna be hurting forever after this. Oh no, I hear ghasts. Oh no, there's one right there. This is just gonna get worse from here on out for me. Oh, now we're talking. Awesome. Minus the ghasts. Okay, this is better. Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna hide. Oh, leave me alone, buddy. Okay, this isn't so bad. Oh god, this is actually bad. This is bad. No. I'm gonna die. Eat steak. Please. Oh, how did I survive that? I do not know how I survived that. Just like cover up all this lava. It's so unnecessary. No one needs this. Like, why is that there? We need to make this drift proof. Safety first, friends. Safety first. Okay. I think I can manage now. But at least we've got this warped wood because I love this stuff. I think it looks so good in builds. And shroom lights. That is definitely going to help us out a lot in terms of lighting. Especially if you cover it up with carpet. Looks real nice. Probably would have been more wise for me to dig down a little bit and then kind of walk across. But I'm committed to this now, so... Yeah, like what am I gonna attach to now? Everything's so far down. Why did I do this? Oh no. Oh, there's so much lava here. I hit a tree. Brilliant. I'm gonna use this tree as like a little bit of a staircase or something. All right, I made it safely onto the other side. So hopefully from here, I can find something. All I want is soul sand. All right, we're nearly to another island. So close. Soul sand. That's all I need. That's all I needed. And now I can get out. Okay, I just need to not die doing this. Oh gosh. Okay. Alright, so we found the soul sand, finally. I'm pretty sure this is what we need for the zombie XP farm. I don't think it's the soil. So, let's get out of here. This bridge got really sketchy towards the end because I heard a bunch of ghasts. So, I hope I never have to use it again because I don't want to. Yep, nothing to see here, friends. Okay, I'm out of here. Don't worry, don't mind me. Just passing through. Okay, I think I made this relatively safe. That sounds very close to me. I'm not even gonna look in that direction. I'm gonna pretend I did not hear a thing. My portal's right here, so I'm really close. All right, and we made it. Please, let's go home. Wow, yeah, I'm done. Wow, it's so quiet and peaceful back at the base. I really took that for granted, didn't I? Alright, so we are back at our place, safe and sound. And I never thought I would be so grateful to be back here. The Nether is really scary, and we were very unlucky with where our portal landed us. But that's okay, because we managed to find soul sand, and I'm so happy we did that, because now, in the next episode, we can actually get started on the zombie XP farm. So, we got the beginnings of our landscaping done today. Super happy about that. We ventured off into the Nether to get our soul sand. It was a success, even though it was also very terrifying. And with that, I think that's everything for today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed it, and that you like everything that we did with the landscaping. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye!